card kits. Take a look at what's in there. Warm-up cards. You are right, my friend Alice. Warm-up cards. The answer to your question, Betty, is yes, I'll take care of that for you. Okay. Isn't that blue cardstock something? That's beautiful. Using up the last of it today. We got mounds of stickers. We've got mirror board and more mirror board. Okay, here we get into our images. We got lots and lots of images. And more images, and more images, and 24 images. Actually, just 16, but 16, yeah, we're going to do them today. You know how it came to be that we're doing 16 cards. I started working through this kit. I picked out a bunch of ones that I wanted to do. And then I thought, I'll just work these up and I'll pick out the best of them, and that's what we'll work with. I couldn't part with any of them. Thus, we have a class kit that makes 16 cards. I just couldn't part with any of them. There was some reason I wanted every one of them. Okay, envelopes I could move out of my way for now. We have this little strip here is not garbage, keep that. We use that at the bottom of one of our cards. I'm going to set it up there so I don't confuse it with garbage. Our goodie bag. Got all these cards. We got our ribbon. I just couldn't. There were just too many good things here. Too much good stuff. Sounds like the inventory of my craft room. Too much good stuff. I tell you guys that I was talking to Brittany one day. I said, if you run out of something to do, I'll have you go through and start layering some of my drawers in my craft room. That was me shaking the camera, sorry. You can go through and start layering some of the drawers because I have all these wonderful drawer units you see sometimes in the pictures. And they're all relatively new, and I've stuck stuff in them, but I haven't labeled all the drawers yet. So, hello, Brenda. So we are constantly digging for things in here, opening multiple drawers to find them. So I said, Brittany, you could go through and start labeling some of those. She said, you don't want me to do that. I said, why? And she says, okay, let's see. This is crap, and this is more crap, and this is double crap, and this is stuff you shouldn't have bought, and this is stuff that goes in the garbage. She said, you really want me to label the drawers? I said, no, I take it back. You're not allowed to label the drawers. Character. She is a character, I'm telling you. Okay, let's pick out this... Excuse me. The smoke's back a little bit, guys. Could you get my spare pop bottle over there, please? There is no crap. It's all just beautiful stuff waiting to be done. We're going to use the smallest of our toppers. We're going to use our gold glittery paper. We're going to use the A6 mirror board, the smaller sheet of mirror board. It's early for me. Got to get this caffeine going here. Okay. And that will give us my method to my madness here is that will give us the cardstock we need to back some of our butterflies. So that's why we're starting here. So we're going to do this. We're going to need one of our A6, standard A6. Oh, yeah, we want a standard A6, which is flat in your kit. It's one of the two flat ones. And we want the smaller card. Okay, I got to my table without finger lift tape. Okay, there's a lot of things I could do without. My finger lift is not one of them. Here, I can glue this first one. And I'll go get my tape. Okay, let's fold that card blank in half. Can I hold up the card? Yep, this is the one we're gonna do right here. So we need the smallest piece of paper. We need the A6 mirror board. We need the glittery cardstock. We need this card, which is currently flat. You have two flat cards in your kit. You have a square one, and you have this one that's the smallest of our card blanks. And if you want to get them, we're also going to need one of your butterflies. And we're going to need a little blessing sticker. One single little blessing sticker out of your supplies packet. That should give us everything we need. Boy, I love these word dies. They're a pain to cut. They're not really a pain to cut. They actually weren't as bad as a lot of them, but making 150 or 180 of them wasn't a great joy. Okay, all right, let's get started here. We're going to cut our little card, our little piece of paper down to 5 inches wide, which mine already is, by, you want it to be 3 1/4 inches tall. Obviously you're going to cut the extra off of the black side of that. So let's make that 3 1/4. We are going to add this to our Mary, and we are going to trim around it. I like the mix too, aren't they beautiful? I know they actually grow white ones too. Somebody told me that they actually grow blue ones. Is that true? I don't know if that's true. Somebody told me that. They'd be beautiful if they did, wouldn't they? I know they grow white ones. I've seen those. Okay, I put that down on my mirror board. I'm going to trim around it. Hello to Kim and Kelly and Katie, if Kelly and Katie are there. I'm just trimming around my mirror board. You guys are welcome to use your paper trimmers for this if you're not comfortable just picking up your scissors and whacking away at your mirror board. If you wanted to measure it, it should be about 3 3/4. Yeah, mine's just about 3 5/8 once I actually trimmed around it. I'm going to cover my card that I've set out here in this beautiful blue glitter paper. Forgive me if I sound a little gruff. It's not terrible, but the smoke's back in a little bit. It's not like it was. And it's still sprinkling a little bit off and on, so it's kind of clearing it out of the air, but every once in a while we get a good whiff of smoke. No, the blue card doesn't shed at all. It's actually just incorporated right into the paper. In fact, for as beautiful as it is, it's pretty remarkably smooth for as sparkly as it is. Okay. Now, how many of you guys are working long today? I glued that. I flipped it over. I'm just going to cut along here. And don't get rid of your extra of the blue cardstock because lots of your butterflies are getting backed in this blue. And as much, it doesn't look like there's an awful lot of it there. There's plenty to get the job done though. Okay. And I like that. I like the amount of border that's showing. So a little bit of raggedy white there on the edge. Say hi to Bryce. Bryce is being a really good sport about all of this. He thinks we're moderately crazy. But hi, Marilyn. Okay, you're working with me. Alice is working. Mary's working. Okay, so you guys tell me if I go too fast, okay? Because if I need to slow down, I absolutely will.
You've twisted the camera or something because it's now, we're not seeing half your card.
You're not seeing half my card?
So yeah, if you
So
just
do what now?
twist the base a little bit.
Probably cut it with my paper cutter.
Yeah. That's
Is that better?
Yeah. That
Okay.
should be better for him.
Brenda says hi. Oh, Betty, good. Okay, Brenda says hi. Lots of people are working with us. Good. Excellent. Andrea says, Bryce, we so appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down. Will you get me a roll of finger lift tape, honey, please? Somehow I got to the table with no tape. So I've just been gluing, which was fine for this first card. But it's not a bad idea, guys, when you go to put this mirror board, thank you, when you go to put the mirror board on top of the glitter card, because the glitter card is slightly rough. It's not terrible, but it is slightly rough. You want to use glue for that because it'll get down in those crevices of the paper and hold your mirror board better than the finger lift tape would. So I would, anytime you're gluing or you're putting stuff on top of glitter paper, I think it's a pretty good idea to glue it. Just checking out my borders here and seeing if I like the way that looks. Looks like you need to straighten up just a little, which is the other advantage of glitter, or of glue. You can move things a little bit. Didn't turn my phone off. That's my Ring doorbell telling me something's being delivered. Guess we'll turn that off. So we're not hearing Rocky here in a minute. I'd hate to have Marilyn run and go get her boxing gloves.
There is a huge fundraising deadline coming up.
Really?
Democrats, and they need your help right.
Did I ask you to start talking to me? I did not, but she did. Don't do it again. I heard the voice again as I went to set it down. Okay. All right. We're going to get our blessings. And we need one of our stickers. You guys should have a half sheet of stickers.
Mary's asking what size of card is this one?
This one is European A6, Mary, which is 4 1/8 by 5 7/8.
And this is the one out of the pack.
This is the flat one off of your cards. Now I want to show you something when I go to back this butterfly. I only need, I'm going to, this edge piece ends up being perfect for backing my butterflies. I don't have to cut all this stuff behind his head and the antennae. I'm just going to cut straight behind that so that it's not necessary, since his head and the antennae are solid, there's no need whatsoever to cut behind there. So I'm going to cut around the edge of his wing. I'm going to take my other finger and I'm going to flip his antennae up a little bit out of my way so I don't cut him off. And I'm just going to cut right down here behind. There we go. I can push his antennae back up. And I'm going to cut on around my butterfly. Wow, we have more lights, guys. Bryce just realized we didn't turn the table lights on. Woo! There we go. We have lots of light now. So it's a pretty easy cut to cut around the butterfly and get our glitter backing. Now that we've done all that, lift the butterfly off of your backing paper and put a little bit of glue on it. Because eventually, if it wasn't doing it already, huh?
You're not under your mat.
Okay, if it wasn't doing it already, it would try to lift because it's on top of the glitter paper. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the back of my butterfly just to make it stick to the... And I don't have to like glue at every vein. As long as I get a little bit of glue here and there, it's going to stick. I'm just kind of running my glue bottle tip over the veining on the back, and what sticks, and it'll be fine. So I'm going to get my butterfly back out here. I'm going to position it right back on top of that bit that we cut. Don't worry if a little tiny bit of your glue shows. It's not going to matter. It dries clear. It's not going to hurt it at all. I'm going to set that aside for just a minute. Let that glue dry a little before I shape my butterfly. I'm going to get my blessings. And I'm going to get my glue bottle. These are pretty well weeded already. I wouldn't worry too much about trying to weed out the E. It's pretty closed in on this blessing. Now you may have two different styles of blessing in your envelope. They're about the same size. One's a little bolder, one's a little simpler. It doesn't matter which one you're using. We just found it was much faster to cut them if we had two dies going at the same time. This particular blessing, who was this by? I'll have to look it up. It's over there. When we take a break, I'll try and see if I can find the folder, and I'll tell you who made this die. We have another one. The second blessing is actually from an Easter set, and it says Easter blessings, and we pulled the blessing die out of that one and used it to cut the rest of these. You can see why having one of these little tiny glue bottles is a great thing for this project if you have one. Okay, and I'm going to put the blessing right up here, kind of at the corner of that swirly. If you're working along, you'll see what I mean. At the top of the gray leaf, there's a little swirly. I'm putting it just to the right of that so that it's just a little bit off center. Got a little bit of glue on my mirror board, which is no problem because I have baby wipes. Maybe. Push it over, please. I will. I'll link those for you. And there we go. Now I no longer have glue on my blessings. All right, our butterfly should be pretty dry by now. And what we want to do with our butterfly is shape his wings a little bit. So we're going to fold it just a little bit on either side of his thorax, his body. My friend Susan should be so proud of me because she taught me that word when we were working with butterflies one night. She said, stop saying his body, that's his thorax. So there you go. Thank you, Susan. I do have a little bit of glue still wet underneath there, so it's up out. I just wiped it off my sticker. Now we fold on either side of his thorax, of his body, and then just pull the wings back up over your finger. So what we end up with is something that looks like that. If you can see that. There you go. That's a good shot. Yeah, whoops, went too high. There we go. Yeah. And we have a flat area where we've folded around his body there. We'll put a little glue there on that flat part. And we'll add a butterfly flying up from our pumpkins towards the word blessing. I'm going to hold it there for just a second while that kind of tacks. And there we go. Ladies, we have finished card 1. What do you think? Hello, Annette.
Yeah, hold it up a little closer to the camera.
Sure.
Not high, down low.
Well, down low's almost too low. It's making me work too low.
No,
Can I?
don't touch the camera. Hold it over the...
Yes, it just is awkward the way you have it today. There we go. All right. Card 1 is done. 1 down, 15 to go. Okay. Are we waking up? We're getting ready to roll here. You guys probably were already awake, especially you East Coasterners. But most of the West Coasterners are thinking I'm crazy too. Okay, let's do another easy one, shall we? Let's sift through our paper pack here. And we're going to find our square one with the words, autumn is my favorite season. So let's find that. It will be this one. Let's find that one. We're going to need our square card. This is our only square card today. Most of them are going to be rectangles because it costs more to mail the square ones. So I tried to keep them square, but you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So we need our card blank. We are going to need our glitter paper because we're going to back another butterfly. We'll have a butterfly handy. Excuse me. And we need the piece of 5 by 5. I guess this is maybe, I'm going to say that's a 6 by 6. The 6 by 6 Mary board. We'll need that. Hi, Pat. You got in! Yay! Yay! I was talking. Now, is it Pat? Is it actually Pat? I think Pat Luck won. Yep. Yes, it is Pat. Okay. Welcome. I'm so happy you made it. We were talking last night about how to do this, how to get signed on to YouTube. So I'm so happy that you figured it out. Okay, let's take our mirror board. And we are going to cover that with some finger lift tape. I can see why this particular tape roll ended up in the shop. It's all cattywampus. As I said before, we won't send out anything that comes in looking crazy. It all comes to me to work with in the shop, but this one is like a spool of ribbon that's trying to unwind from the center. You know how it kind of pushes out? This is going to be an interesting tape roll to use all day today. Okay, putting down my 3 rows of finger lift tape, rubbing them down good. Love me some finger lift tape. It's just the best invention. I can try peeling it from the end. If it doesn't peel easily, then I will tear it in the center. And pull it back both directions. Bryce told me I can't mess with the camera, but you know, he's gone. And the camera angle's really kind of bugging me a little bit today. Oops, the camera angle's kind of bugging me, so I'm going to fix it a little bit while he's gone. Which will not make him happy with me. If I knock it off, I'll be unhappy with myself. There we go. Okay. We are in lockdown. Boy, we can empathize. You guys are so much better, your rates overall, than ours, but I know you guys have had some alarming spikes in COVID. You know, here in Oregon, we've been pretty low all along, and now all of a sudden we have like this big jump. I don't know if it had to do with Labor Day and people misbehaving, or if it had to do with the protests or the fires. You know, there's just lots of areas where people have, you know, we had all those people in evacuation centers and stuff. So, okay, I put my mirror board on top of my card. I'm flipping it over. I'm going to cut this off from the back. So, we have a pretty alarming spike in our rates here in Oregon, too. I know there's lots of them all over the country. You guys be careful out there. Okie dokie. I said I wasn't going to say that anymore, but I'm having a hard time stopping, so sorry if I offend anybody. I'm not trying to. Okay, my width is really good on this already, but I need to trim just a little to get a nice size. I think I'm going to take a tiny bit off the top and a tiny bit off the bottom till I get just the right size. I'm probably going to take about 1/8 of an inch off the bottom, maybe a little bit more, maybe another 1/16, and then take just the tiniest of amounts off the top. And let's see how that looks. Oh, it's right where I want it. So go ahead and trim that down just a little bit, guys, till you get the right match. Okay. You opened your restaurants to full capacity, but I was looking at the reports for Florida. It looks like you guys are still right in the middle of it. So I hope that that's a safe move that your governor did there. But we'll see. I'm not trying to be political. I'm just trying to be concerned about my friends. Yeah, I don't go to restaurants at all either, Mary. We order in a lot. Our local DoorDash people love us. Okay, I put one row down each side. I did not put a row in the middle because I'm going to use my tape flags this time, just for the sake of anybody who may not have seen this little trick before. Once we have put our adhesive on both sides, we're going to make a little 1-inch flag, roughly 1 inch flag, and we're going to pull those flags out to the side just like that, kind of fold them at an angle right out to the side. And now we're going to take this and we're going to line it up over our paper and get this right where we want it. Now, before I put this down, I see that I actually have a little bit of tape strip hanging below the edge. I don't want to roll my tape down, and then find out that I have adhesive there. So I'm clipping those off. I'm going to line this up right where I wanted. The beautiful part of that is that I have just enough tack at the top of this to help hold it in place, and not so much that I can't just pull it loose and move it. I'm going to move that around till I get it right where I like it. And when I have the border that I want all the way around, I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to firmly hold it with one hand. Hold it with my left hand while I pull out my right tape. And then I'm going to hold it with my right hand while I pull out my left tape. And I have a perfectly centered card. Tape flags. I know you guys that tune in all the time know that trick, but I thought for the benefit of our newer folks, you might think that was a fun trick. So, tape flags. Let's get a butterfly. Back it with our gold or with our blue paper. You can see why I said it only just takes a little bit to do these butterflies. So you can see why I said we'll have plenty of material to use for our backing material for our butterflies. I'm going to, I guess I could glue this when I first put it down. That probably makes more sense. That's not how I did them, but I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on before I trim it. Let's see if that helps any. And again, we're putting just a little bit of, I know it probably seems counterintuitive to be putting glue on a sticker, but it's because we're going on top of this mirror or this glitter paper, and the stickers just won't hold as well to the glitter paper. Not because the glitter sheds, because glitter doesn't shed at all. It's because it just doesn't bond as well because it has all the little crevices from the glitter. So I'm going to put my Flutterby on. Tap it down a little. Wipe off any adhesive I got on the top. Because I don't want to impact my beautiful shiny sticker. And I'm going to trim around him once again. Like I said, this is a little trimming, but it really doesn't even constitute fussy cutting because it's a pretty easy cut. Remember when you get to his antennae and his head, just lift those up, hold them back with your finger. You don't have to cut around those. I'll just hold them out of the way so we don't chop them off. And come on around the corner. There we go. And you know what we're going to do next? We're going to bend this butterfly on both sides of the thorax. It doesn't have to be a precise bend, guys. Just kind of roughly on both sides of his body. Then I'm going to take that body, I'm going to just curl those wings right around my finger. Just curling them, just kind of bending them right around my finger to make that butterfly kind of texturized. I see a place I didn't cut it as well as I'd like, so I'm going back in to trim it again. There we go. So now I have a nice flat place on the bottom, and I'm going to add my adhesive right there on the flat spot. And I'm going to light him on this little pink bush to the left of my words. And there we go. His wing is just barely touching the word favorite. Okay. How's that? We have finished card 2. I admit we started with the easy ones first. I have to kind of work into this stuff, guys. But they're pretty. They're very pretty. We're just kind of letting the foiling and the mirror board and little butterfly carry the day. We're not doing anything too fancy on those. But they look great, don't they? I'd give that to somebody. I'd be proud to give that to somebody. Hey, there's the scissors I was missing. I just told Bryce a few minutes ago Last night I dropped my little pink scissors. I don't know what I did with them. And there they are on the table. I'll put the cap on them and hang them up where they belong. Okay, let's go to our next one. I had to also set out these two. Let's do the best wishes one first. Let's get our blue paper with our roses. I'm trying to read your comments up there on the board, and my glasses are so foggy. I'm not seeing you, so I'm going to be rude and take just a minute here to clean my glasses so I can see what you're all saying. Did I have time to eat first? I did. I haven't had a chance for much pop yet, though, so I'll be swigging my pop throughout class. Gotta get my caffeine from my Diet Coke, you know. Those Diet Coke people, they really ought to be paying me endorsement fees. Are you listening, Diet Coke? Oh, wow, I can see you. Hi, guys. Oh, yeah, I think we had the Coke versus Pepsi debate a while back, didn't we? All right. Now, I'm going to get this piece of cardstock out here. This is going to be on this is out of your pack of cards from Craft Perfect, which is part of Tonic Studios. And you may notice that this is just a little short of the card base. Go ahead and cut that off. It's no problem. I'm going to cut about 1/4 of an inch off of that one. I'm sure I'm using the right one. Yeah, you guys know I trim my cards at will to fit the papers I have available. So I'm going to trim it just a little bit more. I will tell you what my finished measurement is. Oh, yeah, these Craft Perfect cards are a little bit over 6 inches, and I had already cut these. I tell you why we're trimming this. I had already cut these for European A6 when I decided to go ahead and send you the Craft Perfect cards. I did that because I kind of liked the ivory with the Thanksgiving theme. And I could hold your cost down a little bit by including the Craft Perfect since I had gotten an extra good deal on those. So I went ahead and we may have a little bit of trimming to do on some of what they call USA 6. It's a little bit different than what we normally look at USA 6. That varies from company to company. But the most common one I've seen is the one that they used with Hot Off the Press, which was 5 by 6.5 inches. These are even a more odd size. These were 4 and just a little over 4.5 by 6 1/4. So I don't know where they got that. So, yeah, hopefully we can share enough little tips with you, Pat, to make it worth your while to hang out with us. And besides that, these are just some of the nicest people you will ever meet. So I'm glad that you are having a chance to meet our crafty friends. A lot of what we do in these classes you'll be able to get even though you're not shopping necessarily with us from the U.S. because we do a lot of hunky-dory and things that you'll have pretty ready access to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my tape stripes down here. I could have done this with glue, but it is pretty lightweight paper, and if you glue it on lightweight paper, sometimes you get that little glue crease. So I'm actually going to have to match this just a little bit. I can do it. I'm confident I can do it. If I can't, I got a good trimmer. I'll fix her up if I mess it up. Okay, I did it again. Okay, I just gotta say okay and not that other slang word I use. All right, I'm gonna match up my card with my cardstock. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. It's pretty good. I'm gonna have just a tiny bit of trim at the bottom there, which I will just take care of. Oops. I should have opened that up because it's several layers of cardstock now. My trimmer, our Cutter P trimmers, don't mind at all 2 layers of cardstock, but they get fussy if you give them more than 2. It will cut nicely through, usually 2 layers. Let's see how that looks now. That's just right. Looking from the back, I'm a little bit over in the back, so I'm going to trim up just a tad there. Now you'll see that my sample and in this one, my butterflies are slightly different position. I figured you guys could handle that. On this paper, I got this paper at Michael's. Mary, it's called Pumpkin Vines. Okay. Now I'm going to get my butterflies out. I'm actually going to match. You can put as many as you like or as few as you like. I put 3 on mine. On my last one. I don't know if I'll put that many this time. I don't know, just based on the position of the pumpkin, I actually think 1 right in here would look good, and I may just use 1 this time. Use what you guys like with yours. But I think I'm just going to put 1 on this time. Do whatever feels good, whatever you like. I think it is a reflections pad. I'm not certain. I just saw the print and I thought it was beautiful. Of course I bought them, then they put them on sale, but you know, that's life. But they're beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And we did the banner out of that same book. Used the smaller prints for the banner, used the bigger prints for the cards. Put a little bit of glue on my butterfly. I love Hunky Dory too, Pat, or Mary. I truly, truly do. I fully admit they're my fave, which you could probably tell since the majority of what we do together as a class ends up being Hunky Dory. But it's kind of fun to do different things sometimes too. One of these days I want to do, in fact I actually picked one. One of these days I want to do a collection from Heartfelt Creations, because they have some really beautiful stuff too. And I just picked one that I think we're going to do as it's another Christmas, but they're just charming and beautiful, and I think it needs to be done. So we're going to have a Heartfelt Creations one coming up. Speaking of things coming up, you guys had asked for the tying gift ribbons, and my ribbon came in yesterday, so I'm going to start working on playing with that and find some fun and creative bows for you guys to tie, and we will go from there. I thought the 1.5 inch might work better with the We Are Memory Keepers bow maker, the big flat comb, as opposed to our little handled combs we use all the time. Okay, so I've cut around my butterfly, I've glued him down. I'm going to bend him on both sides of his thorax again. Bend those wings back around my finger. Oh, fun. Their pads are amazing, aren't they? Now, which pads are you using? Are you using the little books, Kim, or which topper pads are you using? The topper decks are amazing too. You get so many for the money. I love those. Are you talking about, Betty, what sentiments we're using on these cards? We're going to be using, on this one, we're using the Best Wishes sentiment sticker out of our little envelope. And that Best Wishes sticker comes from Sticker King. So you want to get into your little envelope and find the Best Wishes. That's just for you. There is a Best Wishes in here somewhere. Really and truly there is. There's one. I think we have a couple of them actually. The little flower, or sometimes you'll have little extras there. That's just when we cut up the sticker sheets, we had little accent stickers left and we tossed them in just in case you wanted to use them somewhere. So I'm going to put my Best Wishes, I think I'll put it just to the right of my stem. You guys just need to pick where you think it's going to look best, truly, because your card will lay out just slightly different than mine will. Topper decks and little books especially, oh my gosh, both of those are great deals, but you just get so many pages in the little books. I just ordered some new ones of those last night that I'm excited to get. They had some new really cool ones. They had one. I just can't wait for it to get here. It's just too cute. It's hippos. It had hippopotamuses. Little hippos. And we still didn't get that as straight as I want. Sometimes my trick for getting these straight, I need to do it here because I'm not liking the way it's sticking. I get my ruler out. I use the flat edges on the side of my ruler to make sure that I have a straight line. And then I just stick my sticker right above the ruler. And that gets it on straight. You know me, I don't do a bunch of lining and that kind of thing. Okay, so I got my Best Wishes on. I've got my butterfly built. I think I'm going to put my butterfly just a little bit to the left of my flower there, because I love those roses. I want them to show. And I'm going to kind of hang my butterfly just kind of off to the side of my roses. Kind of hang them on those vines. I used 3 last time, but just this is my first one. And this is the one I just did. I'm going to use and get that a little bit lower so you can see it. There you go. I'm looking. I like the single one on this one. I also like the triple on this one. It really just depends. This one here, the butterfly wings aren't real perky because it was in a stack of cards, but you can perk them right back up. So whatever you like there, guys. But you know what? This is now 3. We have finished 3 cards out of our stack already. Can you believe it? Look at us go. Of course, we did start with the absolute easiest ones. But that's okay. All right. Let's get one of our 5x7 cards, one of the largest cards. Every once in a while they come out with little books of different themes, and I try to pick those up when they come out. In fact, we try to get almost everything from Hunky Dory. I don't buy every single thing, but I do buy most things, as long as I think it's going to be a reasonable value to you by the time that I pay air freight to get it here. Every once in a while they come out with something they just don't think is going to be as great a deal for you. For example, we in What's New Wednesday we'll be talking about the snowy kit that they just came out with the, it's not really, it's a different kind of kit. It has foiled and die cut snowflakes on cardstock. They have foiled and die cut snowflakes on acetate. We still had a few of those from the last one that we've been using, but there's a whole new pack of that just came out. And then they just came out with some card blanks, but they're card blanks for us. Now, European sizes, they're perfectly reasonable, but for us, they're really, really big. We don't tend in the US to make as large a cards as they make in the UK. And so I didn't buy the card packs that went with that. Instead, I just bought some packs of matching Adorable Scoreable, thinking that we could cover our own card sizes with that, or we could even cut our own cards out of Adorable Scoreable, but we wouldn't necessarily want a whole pack of these great big 7x7, 8x8, A5 cards. An A5 is the size of an Adorable Scoreable cut or folded in half. So I opted to do that a little bit differently. That's just an example. I don't get every single thing that Hunky Dory does, but I do get most things that they do. Okay, let's look for this piece of paper, and we're looking for the one that's foiled. So let's find this pumpkin, the white pumpkin at the left. It's got a white pumpkin in the left corner. It's got a orange pumpkin at center, and it's got gold foiling on it. Let's find that one. There it is. It's one of the bigger ones towards the back, probably, in your kit. This time, we're going to use a 5x7 card. We're going to use this piece of cardstock. We're going to use one of our big 7x7 pieces of mirror mat. Oh, okay. You like the big sizes for people with poor eyesight. Good to know. You know, some of the biggest fans of my cards, one of the biggest fans of my cards in my family is my father-in-law, Bob. He loves to see what we're coming up with, and so I always try to do something extra special for Bob because he likes to see what we come up with. So like the masculine cards that we did, where we did the twist and pop cards for the guys, and some of those, he just thinks they're just too fun. So I think the challenge for the guys is to make them maybe a little bit more kinetic, make them a little bit more, movable cards. He just had, hi Tracy, he just got a total kick out of the twist and pop cards. So, and he likes a lot of those. So I try and make them mechanical in some way when I give them to Bob, that they move in some way. And he just got a total kick out of the spinner cards that we were making. He thought that was really fun. See, I love it when the guys get involved, though, and then they say, yeah, I'd like a little bit more about this, a little bit more about that. That's awesome. Hi, Thelma. Hey, you're in chat. How did you get in chat? This is Thelma, guys. I've been telling you for the longest time about my friend who's a retired art teacher. This is Thelma, and she hasn't been able to get on chat forever, and she's here. Yay, what a treat. That's exciting, Thelma. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we're going to cover our 5x7 with some gold mirror board. It should be just about the right size. You may have, just because of the trim of the cards, you may have just an itty bitty amount of trim there. That's awesome, Kim. Good idea. Yay! Oh, we got lots of new friends here today. I'm so excited. Welcome, guys. Nice to see you all. Yeah, Bryce is pretty good about stopping by, looking at what I'm doing, and generally from Bryce I get the obligatory ooh ah, but he's also sometimes he really gets excited about something that I've done. Yeah, that's always fun when he does, because I trust his opinion on things, and it's nice when I make something and I can see that I have true approval above the obligatory ooh ah. All right. I'm glad, Tracy. This is a good value, really. If you think about it in terms on a per card basis, this kit's a great value. Okay. Here we go. And you can always come back in and look at participate with us now, and then look at the video later when you go to put your cards together for some sample ideas. So, oh, the waterfall dice. I love that. I haven't done it yet either. Let's do one of those, Mary. We'll make a point of it. I might have to get more of the dice in order for everybody who wants one to be able to get one. But let's make a point of doing that, because I think those are really cool too. We'll just make a point of it. I'm trimming my card down just a tad. I don't even know if you can see it. I have just the tiniest amount of white showing at one side because my card was just ever so slightly bigger than my Mary. So I'm trimming this down just the very slightest amount, just to get rid of that little overhang there. Because I don't even have a trim on the other side. It just was just a tiny bit small or bigger than the Mary. Okay. If you get fingerprints all over it and it bugs you, just use your. We have these in the store, or lots of different kinds of microfine cleaning gloss, guys, are great for cleaning fingerprints off your Marys. It's also great for taking fingerprints off your photos and stuff. It's great. So we're doing the 5x7. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about, Mary Glasson, and I want to get that out and work with that too. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so we've covered our 5x7 card and mirror board. We're going to take this topper right here, and we're going to cut this to be just slightly smaller than 5x7. I'm going to, I really like the vines and stuff up here, and I don't want to chop all that off, so I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom because I have a little room to spare there. So I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom. I'm going to turn my light on so I can see where the bottom of my pumpkins are. And I'm going to take just a slight amount off the bottom here. And then I'm going to start, I know that my card is 5 inches wide. I'm going to start with 4 3/4 for my border. And then I will come back in and see how I think it's going. I'm going to trim a little bit of the extra off my side so I can keep as much of that swirl as I can on the other side. And I'm going to measure this to be 6 3/4. And let's see how that fits. It's still pretty tight on the sides, so I think I'm going to have to take a little bit more off. So I'll come back in. You know how I do this though, guys. I just keep trimming it just a little bit until I get it right where I want it instead of regretting cutting it too far. That's interesting. I wonder if that's cut straight on that bottom edge. It didn't appear to be totally straight on the bottom. That's what I'm looking at. I may not have had it lined up quite right, or it could be my top edge that's out of whack a little bit, but I'm going to check my squareness of my card because it looked to be a little bit out of whack. And yet it measures fine, isn't that funny? Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Just my... No, it just looks out of whack. Maybe my card blank's out of whack a little bit. I think my card blank's off a little bit. So I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna trim my card just a little. I just couldn't get it to line up, and then I realized it wasn't my cutting at all, it's my card blank is off just a little, which is odd because these are really good card blanks. They're spendy ones, but you know, even these can be folded unevenly sometimes. So, see if that's better. That's better. It wasn't me, it was the card. How funny is that? Now it works. Before I glue this down, I'm going to grab myself some of that orange ribbon. Rose Gold Mary. Yes, we have some rose gold. I'm certain of it. Kim, I will link that in the newsletter for you. I'll have to go find it. But I believe I have some rose gold, so I'll link that for you in the newsletter tonight. Okay, pulling out my orange. And with my orange, I'm just going to measure myself a little piece. Probably just about that long. I gave it just maybe an extra inch on either side, a little less than an inch. And there's a variety of ways I could put this down. I'm going to try and see. I don't know, this 1/4 inch is pretty narrow, but I'm going to try and see if I can't put a piece of tape on the back. When it fits, that's a really easy way to hold that down. Except that I think I just put it on the wrong side. No, did I? No, I think it's okay. It sparkles beautifully. Okay, now I got my tape just a little off, so I'm going to go along here and I'm going to tuck the edge of my tape back behind the edge of my ribbon. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just rolling the tape over on itself behind the ribbon so that I don't have a big sticky edge along on my card. And just roll in the extra tape with my fingertip right behind the ribbon. Won't hurt a thing. Have to be a little careful that I'm not rolling the ribbon over on itself, just the tape. And once I get past the sticky end, it's all okay. I think I got it. Okay. I'm going to put this one down about, I'm going to say maybe about a 1/2 inch from the top of my card. I'm just going to roll it over and attach my tape on the back. That looks good. And then Rose Gold Mary. Thank you. I love the gold, but I think rose gold might work too. Did you guys lose your screen, or are we buffering, or Did you lose your picture or is it just here? See, picture only. Okay, gotta call my cameraman. He's outside painting. Hang on. Bryce, we lost our picture. Oh. I left and you came back. Okay. Well, that was interesting. I shook my camera when I was walking by, sorry. Okay. All right. Well, is everybody back? We'll have him look and see why we were getting that. They came back on their own. Like the lost sheep, they came back on their own. What we got was that thing that looked like the power indicator again that we got when the plug was bad. So maybe you can just watch us for a minute and see if it stays good. If it does, then you can go back to painting. We can holler. You just make sure you have. Oh, you can't have your phone with you. You can. No, I can't call you that way. Never mind. I was going to say take your phone with you, and I won't have to come holler, but I will have to come holler because I'm using your phone as a camera. We're adaptable sorts, aren't we, guys? All right. We need our little round. One of our greetings. These are going to vary from kit to kit. Mine happen to have said harvest before, but I don't even know what mine say now. I haven't looked at them. I have Grace. I love that one. I have one that says harvest. I have one that says friends. I don't know. I kind of like the friends one. I'm going to use that this time. And you need one of your little, I guess we only have one. We need our little sparkly flower sticker for this. So let's go ahead and put this topper on. I'm going to try and glue it. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to try and glue this. What I will do is I'm going to rub the glue a little bit with my finger so that I take any ridge out of it. Remember how we've talked about that? That when you're gluing something lighter, make sure you run your finger along it so you don't have a ridge under the lighter material. That's what I'm going to do here. That's another nice trick. So I'm just literally going to run my finger along it just like this. Just smooth out the... Huh?
Diane has joined you.
Hi, Diane. Welcome, welcome.
She asked, how's everyone doing?
There we go. Okay. We are doing great. We are now on, what are we on? We're on card number 4, I believe. So rounding the bend towards 25% completion of our kit. There we go. Got my card face glued down. How's everybody doing? Is the timing about right here? I mean, are you guys having any trouble staying pace with me? I'm going to take a swig of pop while you answer.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Okay. I'm going to put my little tag right up here at the top. And then I'm going to tie a little bow to go on here. I'm going to glue this, but when I glue it, I'm going to run my finger around it because it is a lighter weight tag and I don't want it to buckle under there or show a little ridge around it. I like that. Somehow this card friends card just fits for today. Get rid of my extra glue off my fingers. I'm going to put my little jewel up here. Aren't these little jewels pretty? We have these in the store too. I'll link those for you in case you're interested. I don't know how many of them I have left because we used them on the banners too, but I'll link what we have. We're going to tie a little bow here, friends and neighbors. Now I just tied a little up. It just left, Bryce. Bryce! Sorry guys, I didn't mean to break your eardrums. It just did it again. They're still gone.
Don't know.
That's the little plug signal we were getting when the... And there it comes again. That was the little plug signal we were getting before. When it kept going out on Margie and I.
I've checked the internet. The internet is up and strong.
Okay.
And the only thing I can think of is the camera, but it's
Is the
got so much
camera
battery.
is the camera bank interfering in some way with the
Nope.
camera operation?
Nope.
Okay. Let me tell you what I'm doing here, guys. I'm going to tie a small bow. See how little I tied my bow here? I tied a little double bow. I'm going to try tying this at 4. We could stand a little bigger bow, I guess, but I'm going to try tying this at 4 and 4. Let's see what we get. If you decided you just wanted a little single, or if you want something larger, you should have plenty of material in your kit to make it whatever size you like. One thing I love about this orange ribbon is that both sides are pretty sparkly. So you don't have to do a lot of figuring to figure which side is the better sparkle. The orange is sparkly on both sides. I do love this woven iridescent ribbon though. I'm so glad we got this. Oh, I've been using it a lot. Wait till you see. By the way, we have almost all of our videos done now. Bryce is working on getting the logistics worked out of getting them loaded up on our website, but we have 3 of the 4 Craftaganza videos done, and they will be loading soon. I'm going to leave my tails a little longer this time too. I like that. They always end up a little different. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Annette says it has an X on the USB symbol this time. From her perspective, she hopes that helps. Yeah, this one's called Bittersweet. I think it's supposed to be like an orange, an orange variety or something. My tails weren't quite even, so I'm trimming up the other one. I'm going to put a little bit of Best Glue Ever on this bow and let it dry. And you know what, guys? That will be the 4th card done. Best Glue Ever is here. If you've been waiting for it and haven't been able to get it, because we haven't had any for a couple of weeks now, it has arrived. 104 bottles of it just came in, so we should be in good shape for a while. So putting a little Best Glue Ever here. Doesn't take an awful lot, just a little bit.
Pat's having to sign off.
Excuse me?
Pat's having
Oh,
to
okay. Oh, that's okay. Take painkillers in time for bed. Hey, Pat, we hope to see you on the replay. To stop by and see some more of what we're up to. And I'm so glad you could sign in tonight. I'm really glad. And we'll see you another time, okay? Thanks for stopping in, though. Okay, I'm going to just set this on this card and set it off to the side, let that bow dry.
Annette's asking, is the orange more of a burnt orange or a true orange?
It's a true orange. It's a here's a comparison. The pumpkin on here is kind of a burnt orange. I guess it actually, in the camera, this looks pretty bright orange, but in reality, this is quite a lot warmer, a lot brighter than the pumpkin. It doesn't show much against red either. And show it against white. That lets you see how bright the orange is when we get it up against some white, so you can just see it. So there you go. All right, that was nice of Pat to join us. I was conversing with her in the comments section, and I was hoping that she would be able to join us soon, so she did. That was neat. Thelma got on. I'm so excited, honey. Thelma was able to join us and is out there today in chat world.
Whoa.
Woohoo! Okay, that's 4 down, guys. Now we can kind of do whatever we want. So, because I'm awake, I've had my caffeine. We're ready to go. All right. How about we just start working our way through here? I'm going to do this blessings one. I love these ones where we just glittered the pumpkin. Isn't that pretty? Let's do this one next. We're going to find, oh, mine's right on top, but nope, that's not the one. We want the one that has the spotted pumpkin in the front. It's got an orange pumpkin behind it, a blue one to the side, and a rose right in the corner. Let's find that one. It's got a rose right in the middle of the bottom. We should all have the same pieces, shouldn't we? Oh, maybe it's in this part. Let's look here. Oh, I found it. It's one of the biggest sheets, guys. Did you find that one? This is the one we're looking for. And in my pack, it's one of the biggest ones at the back. Some of these are cut different sizes to be able to get the elements we wanted and be able to get as many cards as possible out of a sheet. So they're cut different sizes. But this is the one we want. Did everybody find that? Love this. Okay, this one we're just going to glitter the white pumpkin. So beautiful. And we're going to need a blessing sticker. So let's get that, or a blessing die cut. We'll get that out. I have to pop the center out of my S on this one. And let's see, what else do we need? We're going to need a 5x7 or a 7x7 piece of Mary. We're going to need a 5x7 card. There we go. And I think that's it. We'll need our glitter sheet. Do you have a glitter sheet or some copy paper or something that you can pour your glitter over and get it back into your vial or your packet? Then I think we're ready to go. Let's go. Okay, get my tape out. Let's cover our card with our Mary. 3 rows of tape is my norm. 1 in the middle and 1 on each outside edge. Rub that tape down good so it has less temptation to peel on us. Kim was telling us, wasn't it you, Kim, that told us that you got married in the fall and you had white pumpkins at your wedding? I think that's so cool. Isn't the tape wonderful? Are you using regular double stick or are you using finger lift tape, Mary? I do love using tape as opposed to tape runners. So much more economical. You got great control and it doesn't jam. There are no tape jams. I can't tell you the number of times I have torn apart a tape runner to get the tape out of there because I couldn't stand to throw it away after the tape runner jammed. Okay. This tape we're using is called finger lift tape. And the tape itself is 1/4 of an inch wide, but the paper's 1/2 inch wide, giving you plenty of giving you plenty of room to get your fingers under there and lift the paper off the tape. That's why it's called finger lift tape. And I love it. Okay, got my card covered with my Mary. Yeah, true. You can use your tape flags. That is absolutely true. You can't do that with a tape runner. Good point, Alice. Okay, trimming off my extra. You can see from these blessings and stuff, boy, this is a great piece of paper to get a whole bunch of little die cuts out of. This week's Brit's Bargain is going to be on mini dies. I'm going to have a heck of a deal on tattered lace mini dies. Check that out when Brit's Bargain comes up this week. I think I have 19 of them. And they'll go first come, first served at the price I'm going to have on them. But they're wonderful for this kind of stuff. Okay, I'm going to have to trim this down a little bit to fit my card. And I'm going to start by trimming the excess off the bottom. So once again, I'm going to light this up. And I'm going to trim it just so that I get that full vine at the bottom, because I do like that vine at the bottom. I'll take off everything I can up to that point. I'm also going to take the excess off the edge, since I know that this is going to be considerably wider than it has to be. So I'm going to go clear up to the vines on the left. Making sure I'm not overcutting here. I want this to be, I'm going to start with 6 3/4. So I have just a little bit left to take off the side. And I'm going to go to 4 3/4 wide to begin with. And let's see how we're doing here before I cut any more. Oh, uh-oh, that's cool. Thanks for sharing your story, Kim. Oh, actually, I look at this and I'm pretty much liking that right where it is. I'm seeing that I have maybe just a 1/16 of an inch extra on this edge I'm going to take off. And let's see how we do it. How we did there. Oh, I like that. Okay. I'm not going to worry about putting this down quite yet. I want to do my glittering work before I put it on the mirror board. Now this glitter too, like our extra fine glitter, this is microfine glitter also. So we shouldn't have a lot of problems with this scratching our Mary, but it's just a good habit to get into to do your glittering before you put it on your mirror board so that your Mary does not get scratched. And all I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm just going to take my needle nose glue bottle. I'm going to go fill in these little dots on my pumpkin. Just fill in the little rounds with glue from a needle nose bottle. Now, the heavier you get this glue, the longer it's going to take to dry, so kind of smearing it around just a little bit with the tip of your glue bottle to ensure that it's not too thick is good policy. But I'm just going to fill in all these little bubbles. What is it about glittering that's just so satisfying? Maybe it's just me, because it's a messy process, and I do so love messy processes. It could just be me. I had one lady in class with us that just really hates glitter. She hates everything about it. And I had such a hard time understanding her. I loved her anyway, but I had such a hard time understanding how anybody could not love glitter. The glitter, I always get this question, so let me just answer it. The glitter in my glue bottle is, right now, it's kind of a mix between Cosmic Shimmer, which is my regular go-to, and Tattered Lace. I had some Tattered Lace bottles on the shelf that needed to be moved out of active inventory because I don't I don't let anything age on the shelves, or I try really hard not to. And it was just time they got rotated out, so instead of refilling with my regular Cosmic Shimmer, I've been refilling with Tattered Lace. But we have 2 or 3 brands of glue in the store that are great for paper crafting and highly recommended. They are Cosmic Shimmer, and now we have the Art Institute glitter. How beautiful is that? Just look at that, what that does, just putting that little hint of glitter on that pumpkin. How pretty is that? Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So I'm going to set this aside and let this dry. I have my card covered already. We could, I suppose, go ahead if we wanted to risk it, and we could glue our blessings down, but let's just wait and do that when the glitter's dry, shall we? I'm going to put my blessing with it, though. I'm going to get one of my die cuts, my blessing die cuts out of here. And it will be ready to go. It just needs to be everything to be glued down, but I'm just going to set this off to the side for a minute and let that dry. Oops. Okay, this card will be finished. I'm going back to my pumpkins and looking. Nope, my glue's not quite dry on this yet, so I'm going to put it back away again. Let that continue to process, and let's see what else we want to put some glitter on, shall we? How about we do this one next? Let's find this card blank. We'll find it in our stack here. It's a white pumpkin corner in the left corner. It's got vines coming up on up the side and along the bottom. It's on black. There it is, the very last one in my stack. Okay. This is what your page will look like. It's on the probably 5x6 now. I'm going to get my card blanks out here and I'll tell you which one we're using. I think it's going to be one of these. Nope, it's bigger. I get one of the 5x7s. I think it's 5x7 I've trimmed, to tell you the truth. Let's see. Yeah. You don't really have to trim it down, I don't think. No, you won't have to trim it down unless you want to. I think I'll make mine full size this time just for the sake of something different. I did trim it down a little bit last time, but what we're going to do this time, guys, is leave this cream color border showing around the outside because I thought that played beautifully with the white pumpkin. Don't you think so? We're not putting any Mary or anything under this. We're going to use the white as our accent, or the cream color. That's pretty, don't you think? So all we need to do is just trim widthwise. And I'm going to say let's start with 4 3/4 and see where that takes us to. I have all this glitter on this paper and I'm making myself nervous because you know me, I'm really kind of a klutz, and we are going to almost surely have a mess here. I don't pour this back in. I am a messy crafter, but sometimes I'm a messy crafter because I get lazy and don't take care of putting stuff away properly. That's just the truth. Okay, I'll still get glitter everywhere, but I can probably avoid having a whole bunch to run my arm through. Okay, going to my paper cutter again. I'm going to start at 4 3/4 and see how I like that amount of border. That's just right. Don't you think? That's just right. Okay. I'll just put some glue on this one. And then I'll rub the glue around and make sure that I don't have a ridge under my paper. I could do it with tape flags, or I can do it with my glue bottle. Doesn't matter. Whatever makes you happy. My family's out there staining the braces for the catio. Well, the contractor was here this week and he put the studs up, and I'll take a picture and I'll try and take a picture at break time, and I'll put it in the newsletter so you can see what they're doing out there. Okay, I'll put that on. I'm going to slide it. Well, maybe I'm going to slide it. Should slide. Didn't want to. Slide it over just a tad until I have that nice white border showing all the way around. I do like the way that looks. Isn't that pretty? Now, it would still be really plain, though, were it not for the glitter. So let's give this thing some glitter, shall we? Now, this time, I glittered all the little pumpkin curlicues, including these that went up here. Now, you can put as much or as little as you like. I actually used quite a bit, but I glued all these little pumpkin curlicues just to get some brightness added to this. So that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to glue all those little pumpkin curlicues this time. Now there is the glitter is kind of around in different areas this time, so I might advocate to you that we do one area, we glitter it, and we shake it off, and then do the next area. Oh, my glue bottle's kind of being a little tight. Come on. Come on. Oh, I need a pen in my glue bottle. I happen to have a couple of them sitting right here, waiting to be used. I'm bad about recapping my glue bottle as I go. That's one reason why I get little clogs in it now and again. Oops, I've turned over a full container of glitter. 4 years later, we could vacuum and still get glitter up. Oh dear. Let's not do that today. I don't want you guys thinking bad things of me or sending you big pots of glitter. How about the size of that container of glitter today? Do you know that that's the equivalent of about 1.5 of the regular size jars of glitter? It's about, I filled about 2.5 packets per this great big jar of microfine glitter I was using. So you got lots and lots of glitter today. You are not going to run short no matter how much we decide to use. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell what's the pumpkin vines and what's the other vines, but nobody's going to be inspecting your work, guys. They're just going to see the neat impression of the pumpkin vines. So just have fun with it. Don't be stressed about it. Nobody's going to be in the inspection squad. I had a friend who used to come over and visit sometimes, and she'd say things like, "Did you know your telephone is the dirtiest thing in your house?" And she'd run her fingers across my phone. Or she'd run her fingers across the top of my refrigerator, and she'd say, "You should probably clean up here." And after about the third time she did it, I handed her a can of Lysol at the door and said, "Knock yourself out." Knock yourself out, friend. We were still friends after that, too. I just figured if she had the need to clean, let her do it. Okay. Oh, this glue bottle, Tracy. These are some little glue bottles I picked up in China, and they sell for $2 in our store empty. And then I refill them with the brands I talked about, Cosmic Shimmer, which we have in a great big bottle. And the tip, even though they have a micro tip on the bottles, all the broken ones that get broken in transit come in here. See how my tip is all bent at the end? We won't send you one of those. But if it gets bent up in transit, it comes up here, and I refill these little bottles out of this great big one, because even when I trim this, the problem is that it's fairly fine tip, but this replacement cap that they give you is not that great. So I move these into these, and then I just refill out of this bottle. But this little microfine bottle, oh, they're just so neat. $2. $2. I've seen them go for as much as $6, but there's no reason they have to be that expensive. I got a good deal on them, and I don't believe in gouging you guys. Our prices aren't always the lowest. We've talked about that before, because I pay air freight to get your stuff here from Europe on most things. Because we don't have a shipping dock, I have to have it sent in smaller pallets, and I have to air freight it, and that costs a lot of money. So we will not always be the least expensive, but what we have to give up in a little bit on pricing, we try to make up for in service and make sure that we have the best service you're going to get anywhere. I try really hard on that. And there we go. That's what I glittered. I did these little vines down here in the corner. And you can see I just, I wasn't being fussy about it. I just kind of laid down my glitter line. But I do love the way it looks. I think it's pretty. Is it just about the right amount? I'm going to pour this back in my vial. I agree, Thelma. They are really, really good little bottles. Really good little bottles. I always have 3 or 4 of them right here around my crafting area. But you do need to have some pins handy, because the opening is so very fine that once in a while it will clog up, and you just have to run a pin down it, clean it out good, and away you go. Every once in a while, if I've done something really ridiculous, like I leave one open over a weekend or something, and they really get jammed up in there, then I take the tip off and I drop it in a glass of water, let that glue all soften up in there, and then I take a pin and clean it out. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. We try really hard to make sure you guys just get the best service you're going to get anywhere. I try really, really hard, and the girls that work for me really, really believe in that too. Okay, so we got our glitter done on there. And let's dig out our embellishments for this one. Your words may be different. We talked about that. I just kind of punched out all the words that I thought were kind of related to the holiday season. So I have harvest in mind and I have grace. I think it could be either one. I think I'll use harvest. And let's tie a little bow. We'll get some best glue ever going on that. And we'll set that off to the side to dry then, and we'll finish our assembly once our glitter is dry and our bow gets dried. Let me get my bow maker out here. For this one, I tied a tiny 3-layer bow. I'm going to start at 4 on your bow maker, the 4th smallest tine in from the center. What I do on one side, I need to do on the other, so I'm going to go 4 to 4, then I'm going to come out, I'm going to go to number 5, the 5th tine out, the last one of the small tines, then I'm going to come and I'm going to go to 4 again, and come back up through 4, because what you do on one side, you do on the other. I'm going to go down through the center of my bow maker, and you'll notice I'm not layering those one on top of the other. This is something different I've learned to do, is to make sure that the individual layers kind of are allowed to stay separate until we come over here and we kind of scooch them together. I'm finding that if I keep my layers separate on the comb as long as possible, it helps the bow to fan out better. It's just something I've learned from working with them now. I didn't know at first. Sparkliest side goes down, but you know, this orange is really sparkly on both sides. I don't think you can go wrong with the orange. I'm going to slide my bow off my bow maker, and let's look and see what we get. I'm going to pull this little loop out. I'm going to pull this little loop out up here. And look at that beautiful bow. We got just that easy, guys. If you haven't taken my bow class, let me know. We'll get one on the schedule for you, because you will never look at bow making quite the same way again after you've had our bow class. It's so easy to tie beautiful bows. There we go. I'm liking the way that looks. I'm going to trim this off. I'm going to get a little best glue ever on here. Okay. Oh, look at you guys. You guys are so sweet. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate it. Yes, I did a 4-5-4, Mary. 4-5-4. Yeah, I like the staggered look in these too. I do. Getting a little glue in the center. I'm going to put just a little bit on my loops. Try and kind of hold everything out where I have it. A little bit here. A little bit here. Kind of a dot in the center and a little bit on each of the other places. Just a little. We don't need a lot. We don't need to wait until next Friday to put this on. Oh, I like that. The autographed invoice thing, that's fun. I like that. Okay, I'm going to put this, just lay this on my card, and I'm going to set this all off to dry for a minute. That may be one of your most challenging aspects of today, guys, is to have enough drying area for all these cards we're making. I'm pulling back in this one we did earlier. It looks like our bow is dry for that. Well, let's go ahead and stick this little bow in its place. Oh, I like that. That's cute. Somehow the Friends concept just fit for me today. Okay, there we go. I know Ashley writes notes on a lot of the invoices already. I've seen some of them. And she's just the best. She's just the best. There we go. Friends is done. Or this card is done. You may have a different greeting on yours. That one's finished. Let's take a look at our dotted pumpkin. Just broke my fingernail. Let's take a look at her dotted pumpkin and see how he's doing. It might still be wet because that was kind of a... No, they're dry. Okay, I'm going to brush off my extra glitter. Got my makeup fan brush here. Just brushing off the extra glitter into my garbage can here. Okay, yeah, there's no hurry. You can always attach yours when it gets dry. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this down, boat maker aside. I'm going to put a little bead of glue around here. I'm going to rub it with my finger to get it nice and smooth. Oops. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the U.S. Postal Service is going to have a quote-unquote temporary increase in pricing through the holidays. I found it kind of comical in a way that they said they didn't want to raise the price of individual postage because of all the financial hardships right now. So they were only raising business pricing. Consider what businesses have been through recently, and that kind of becomes a, huh? But I understand they're having trouble, and we love our postal service, and we want them to survive, so guess we do what we have to do. That temporary increase is 40 cents a package or more. It's an average of 40 cents a package. To us, that's going to be hundreds of dollars a month. Hundreds. So I haven't decided how to respond to that yet. I just need to do some more analysis. I actually absorbed the last two postal increases and didn't do anything. And I'll have to figure out what that means to us. I'm not sure yet. But yeah. So I did want to alert you to the fact that it's coming. If you see prices on online purchases, not just with us, I mean, this is going to be that's big. That's a really big increase. That could be, you're going to see it everywhere. And temporary, I don't believe that for a second. Once it's already been in place and the pain has been experienced of the increase, I don't believe even for a second that that will go away. I think Congress will approve a permanent increase to those levels. So just be prepared that at some point, I'm trying really hard not to have to increase shipping, but at some point I'm going to have to. I don't know what that means for us yet. I just read about it. Respond with a card and brownies. Remind them how much business you give them. Yeah. Yeah. If it were our local folks, that might work, because I take cookies or treats, popcorn cans, something to our post office people every year, every single year that we've been in business. I think I've done it. I really worry about what this means to our international folks. I haven't seen the international rates yet. They were outrageous to begin with. But we'll do what we have to do and we'll all get through it. Okay. Got a little bit of glue on top of my lettering that time. And I seem to have just spread it with my... maybe it's straightening up a little bit. And this is not Adorable Scoreable, so I don't want to get my paper behind it too wet. But yeah, so I thought I'd better tell you guys about that. The risk of putting a little dampener on things. And I'm not trying to... You know me, I won't gouge you. It was not my intent to do that. I just have to make sure at the end of the day we make enough money to stay going. And keep going. Where it's really going to hurt the most, really, truly, is in Amazon, where most of the customers in Amazon buy a single item. Our store customers, most of you guys, it's not so bad, but in Amazon, where people are buying a single purchase, that's where it's really, really going to hurt, because then it might be a 40% or 40-cent increase on shipping for a pack of stickers, you know. So, yeah, that's where what I think my response, I'm not sure yet. Like I said, I'm still absorbing the news, but I think my response in Amazon is going to have to be, I'll have to take my lowest price items just down on Amazon. I just will decrease or increase the size of my basic offer on Amazon so that I can continue to sell in there with some hope of a profit at the end of the day. Okay, Blessings is done. This one's done. How beautiful is that? I know some of you are waiting for yours to dry. You'll catch up when the time comes. Let's see. The last one we just did is still cooking. I can see from here that the bow is still drying on that one, so we'll set that off to the side. Are you guys, well, let's see. Here's another one where we have a bow to tie. I think it's our last bow to tie. Let's just go ahead and do this one while we're at it. So we've got all of our bows. Okay. Okay, let's see. We're going to go ahead. Yeah. It's just, that's going to get worse, Alice. It's just going to get worse. What I've done in Amazon is that we just priced our items on Amazon at a level that allowed us to be able to ship without charging further shipping prices, and just tried to make it easy to calculate what your purchase was going to be. So for example, a $1.99 sheet of stickers became $5.99 on Amazon, and actually I still wasn't quite covering my costs at $4. It was a little bit more than $4 to actually get it out the door, especially when Amazon charges me $1 minimum on everything I sell there. So I was coming up a little bit short on Amazon already, but if they had 40 cents to that, there's no way I can afford to ship a pack of stickers. So it just, it's just going to take some figuring to look at it and decide how best to handle it. But you're going to see it everywhere. Nobody's going to be able to, except maybe Amazon, is going to be able to afford to absorb that much of an increase without increasing some. I'm going to tie a 515 this time. We end up getting a lot of nice store customers from Amazon as a result of being on there, and then people recognize the name, and then they go out and they look at our website, and they end up coming over as a customer from our website. So I like maintaining a presence on Amazon. But really, from a profitability standpoint, it's not profitable to be on Amazon other than as kind of a marketing channel because it's just so expensive. I wasn't confident I had all my loops in the right place, so let's see. So I just pulled stuff off my bow maker and started again, but I'm tying a 515 for this one coming up. And get some glue on this and get it drying. These are simple cards we're doing today, but aren't they turning out pretty? I really, really like it. I love the imagery in this set. And I like the way that the little glitter touches just kind of bring out the images. I think they're pretty. That's why, like I said, I started out saying, oh, let me just make up a bunch of ones here and then I'll take the best, and you got them all because I couldn't decide. My indecisiveness created a really big kit for you. There we go. Like my bow. My bow turned out pretty. I'm going to flip this over. The little tail doesn't want to come down, but maybe I just let it go out to the side. Sometimes I kind of let the ribbon do what it wants to do because it ends up looking better if I let it kind of flow. Those of you who came to the banner class on Thursday, didn't Margie do a very good job with her very first online presentation? I thought she did great. She was very, very nervous about it. I don't know if you could tell how nervous she was, but she was highly, highly nervous about being on camera. She was not at all sure she wanted to do that. And yet she did a great job. I don't think you could particularly tell she was nervous. She did a great job.